Good evening, everybody. My name is Janice Wong, and I'm representing the third generation as the oldest of all her grandchildren. As you mentioned, my grandma has 18 grandchildren. She is what we call Grand Nyonya, matriarch. She is Nyonya to the core of the way. We heard that she's always wearing sarong, that's true. And the sarong only was put away once a year. It was an annual affair. One day of the year, she put away her sarong and put on shorts because we will make kueh kapit for Chinese New Year. And we will go, Grandma, the sun is coming out. It's so bright because her legs are totally white and fair because it never sees the sun. So we tease her mercilessly about it. My family grew up in Ipoh where Grandma was. So Grandma and Grandpa's house was our hangout place on 69 Jalan Haji Yusuf Housing Trust. And my youngest aunt, Auntie Yo, who was the only one left at home when I was staying with them, was very active in youth, and that was the youth hangout place. There are some in the crowd here who remember that, who were those youth. I can see some of you, uncles and aunties. I'm also heavily involved in youth activities in my church, as some of my cousins. So in a way we can say this is a legacy that we carried on with our grandma and grandpa. Even as their grandparents, they were also already or continued to be involved in youth work. We were reminiscing about grandpa and grandma. They were such opposites. What we remember of grandpa as well, in contrast to grandma. Grandpa was an extrovert, always the life of the party, always telling grandfather stories. You know, grandma would be the quiet one and the introverted one, and in contrast to grandpa's cheerfulness, actually sometimes she can be quite grumpy and grouchy, right? But grandma's love language was her service to others. She was often behind in the kitchen, quietly, or in the garden. Her service, her greatest service was food. As a nyonya, she was an awesome, amazing cook. I can boast that my grandma makes the world's best achat, asam laksa, jiucha, lobak, and so on and on until I make all of you salivate. And she has passed these secrets, these family secrets, to her daughters, her granddaughters like myself, and also to the family helpers Sri and Yati, who are actually a better keeper of the family secret recipes than us. Sad to say. But as a nyonya also, she would, not have an actual recipe, a little bit of that, a pinch of this, a handful of that. So when I actually came back from my studies overseas and had time to spend with her, I went through with her a lot of the recipes, and every time she grabbed a handful of flour, I said, wait, take the measuring cup, put the flour inside and start measuring and try to record all these recipes. And so those were some of my memories with grandma. A lot of us grandchildren also, we were babysat by grandma as we were growing up, especially when our parents wanted to go on their little honeymoon again. Grandma used to keep a chicken coop at the back of the house, I guess for saving on family expenses. So a lot of us had memories collecting chicken eggs, from the chicken coop, getting scratched by the chickens for doing that. And then also we had a lot of fun chasing the chickens around the whole garden, sometimes using her feather duster as well, the same feather duster that she would use to chase us around if we were naughty. Although grandma never really spanked us, she just always threatened, never lay a hand on us. So she was very loving that way. And we also remember grandma as an avid reader, but she doesn't read very widely, only Mills and Boons. Yeah. So the granddaughters always raided her bookshelves during the holidays where we stayed with her and shared all those books with her as well. Well, In the later years, as grandma got sick and she moved to KL, so most of us who were in KL could help take care of her. And every time we visit her in the hospital, I noticed that the nurses really, really love her, no matter what race the nurses are. She was always thanking everybody in English, Malay, not Mandarin, she doesn't speak Mandarin, Cantonese, Hokkien. She was always thanking everybody and always apologizing for troubling us. There was one particular time I remember I was there at the time when a batch of trainee nurses were just leaving. That was their last day. They went around the ward saying goodbye to their patients. A few of them especially came and called grandma and said goodbye to her, and one of them blew up one of the rubber gloves into like a balloon and drew a happy face and put down there, God bless. She was kind of really singled out in that way by the nurses who took care of her. Last Thursday, when I visited her at the nursing home that we, with great reluctance, had put her in only just a few days, she said to me, she recognized me. She said to me, "Take me home." And I didn't know how to answer her. And I didn't know that was the last time I would see her alive. So just yesterday when I was going through Grandma's Bible, she left the Bible here, the little card, a bookmark dropped out that I would like to read out and share with all of you. It's titled Safely Home. I'm now at home in heavens, all so happy, all so bright. There is perfect joy and beauty in this everlasting light. All the pain and grief are over, every restless tossing past. I'm now at peace forever, safely home in heaven at last. Did you wonder I so calmly trod the valley of the shade? Oh, but Jesus' love illumined every dark and fearful glade. And he came himself to meet me in that way so hard to tread. And with Jesus' arm to lean on, could I have one doubt or dread? Then you must not grieve so sorely, for I love you dearly still. Try to look beyond earth's shadows. Pray to trust our Father's will. There is work still waiting for you, so you must not idle stand. Do your work while life remains, you shall rest in Jesus' land. When that work is all completed, he will gently call you home. Oh, the rapture of the meeting, oh, the joy to see you come. So I hope and pray with all my heart that I'll be able to introduce all of you to my grandma when we see her again next. Thank you.